All right. So we got another bonus session for our members to watch. You've heard me talk about uh, several of my sons, and there is one that I talk about the most all the time. We're going to have a little one-on-one chat with for you all. Now, usually, if you're at the podcast, you know that on the podcast, I have some of them on, and them plus David together, they become this whole Frank appreciation show. How Frank is great, and Frank is does all this for me. But this son or this person is not going to. It's the complete opposite. So don't expect to hear how great I am and all the other kind of good stuff, because he would never give me that kind of satisfaction, like ever, ever, right? So without further ado, finally making an appearance on our bonus episode to have a little conversation with me is Jordan. What's up, Jordan?
Hello. And that is totally false. Totally false.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. In the next 30 minutes, we'll see. So now you have not heard everything I've said about you in the past, right?
No, not really. I
Good.
haven't.
That's good. All right. Okay. Let's start with how we met, first of all, because when you first met, you hated me with a passion, like hated me, and you have good reason about that. But I've thought about it, and you have good reason to hate me. But
Some of my best relationships come out of me not liking him in the beginning. Like literally, some people would be like, "Man, when I first met you, you did not really like me," and then now it's closer than ever. It just it happens like that. You gotta live and learn. And I was also super young, and I admit when I was younger, I was a little more reckless and crazy.
yeah, maybe you got rid of that. But let's talk about it real quick, because I remember it well. We were in the mentoring program at church, and we had a field trip to the zoo. You remember that? And we're going to get to the zoo later on too, when I get to where we are now. But back then, we had a trip to the zoo. You remember that situation?
Yep, I remember it.
And then
we sit in the back. Yep.
I believe either you were cursing or you made me so mad that I cursed. I don't remember which one it was.
I don't think I might have cursed. It was bad. I just remember that day was a bunch. I remember it because we got in trouble. It was just me, Naya, and Chastity, and us three was just a handful. It was that one and the Aaron Water show. Was that the same day?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was the mild-mannered one, and that day I was just, I don't know what you did to me.
You just couldn't take it. We were just crazy. It was just so much.
Yes, aside of me, you pushed me to a level that I could not take. And from that point forward, you despised me, didn't you?
I wouldn't say despise. It's just I was just like, I'm good, And then mom was just like, you can't burn all your bridges. Don't burn all your bridges. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't like Frank. Frank is not like, it was just, I was done.
And so another thing that you hate about me at church is that I would purposely pick on you to do something like, okay, we need a closing prayer. So let me go and get, why don't Jordan get up and do the closing prayer?
I'm just looking like all these good other people in this, always, every time we did that. But it was fun though, because it really, for me, it helped me start to like kind of develop my leadership kind of skill roles. And I see now, like when we do things, I just take control a lot of times and just lead, because I've had those opportunities where you just throw me out there.
So I don't know what Jordan this is, because you're saying nice things about me. I'm not used to this, but I will say this though. Like at the by the end of that program season, I think it was the last day or the second to last day. I didn't even bring up somebody doing the prayer, and for the last day, you volunteered to do it. You remember that?
Yeah, I was done. By the end of it, man, I feel like I was running a mentor program. I was like, I don't know, it was fun.
No, I cannot pinpoint the exact day that we went from fighting and butting heads in the mentoring program to like this is like, he's like my son. He's like everything to me. I can't pinpoint it. I don't know when it was. I'm sure you don't either.
Yeah, it's crazy how long it's been though too. I was like,
How old were you then? How old were you back then?
was I in high school yet? I might have been just in high school, just started in high school.
Probably just starting.
14,
And how old are you now?
about to be 22 in August.
Yes, and most of my hair is gone because of this hair is your fault.
Look, I didn't have hair at first. Now I have a lot of hair.
We're gonna get to the hair in a minute on my list here too, because that's another battle between the two of us. So let's talk about a few fun things, and then we're going to talk about politics, and which is the point of our week that we're having, which is a hot topic for you. But I want to talk about the fun stuff first, real quick.
Okay.
And that is mentoring program. It ended. It was over. But we were so close that we still became, matter of fact, your mom was calling me her baby daddy, because you were like my son. Everywhere I go, you were there too. And you followed me to several jobs. And one of those jobs were the Veggies. You remember that?
Yeah, when I was doing the puppet show.
Daycare centers. And you were like, what? Mike. He was a puppet.
Yeah.
Teaching kids.
I remember that. I remember that job because that's when one of the times that we really butted heads, when I left that one time. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of Frank. Like, but look, see, like I'm back. We're still here. But that was a really fun job. That I actually loved that job. And I speak of that job to this day. I tell people, like, I had the opportunity to work with homeless youth, work at like Casa Norte, and like not only work with homeless youth, but interact with younger youth and do different things like that. It was really cool. I think that was a really great opportunity for us to have. At the time, I didn't realize it, but as I'm older, I was like, I'm glad I actually did that,
I'm stunned by this conversation, because this is not what I'm used to from you. I'm stunned by all these comments that you're making. Okay, all right. So then you followed me to, and this may be the bad one, but so then you followed me to Wrigley Field with the Cubs. 3 years? What is it? 2 years? What is it?
Well, this would make it technically 3 years when I come back this season, because I started in June. But last year don't count because it was COVID,
Yes, and so this the thing about you at Wrigley Field is that most supervisors, they know who you are to me and everything like that. So
mind you, I only did one full season there.
I'm just saying, when you do something wild on social media, my phone blows up, and I got to call you, and then you got to explain to me what's going on. And then now what people don't know is that you will do whatever you have to do, and they will call me. Sometimes you'll call me first and say, hey, you're about to hear that I did this, and this to this supervisor or this person. And I'm like, oh God, whatever. But usually in the beginning, they were calling me.
People really think I'm a kid, and I'm like, no, I'm 20, I'm 21. Like, Frank can't control me. He's like, me and him are really cool, but he can't tell me what to do,
And so what happens is that I will call you and talk to you about it. And we usually agree on what you're trying to say, but we don't agree on how you're saying
it. I said it.
And I think we've agreed to, I've learned, to use my influence on you on certain battles.
Yeah, some battles you're like, I'm not even gonna fight. Yes. Good luck. Like, I already told you.
Yeah, so I've learned when to use my influence on you, and when it's just to be like, hey, he's, whatever. But people do hit me up, as you know. But now you've learned just to let me tell Frank right away. Let me tell him now, because
let me just tell you what just happened just before you get the phone call. No, it's coming.
Yes. All right. Let's talk a little bit about politics real quick, and that's what usually gets you heated and gets the call coming to me. And we're having a discussion. This week is the anniversary of the George Floyd situation, and we're having a podcast every day this week. It's about politics, and not politics, about race and religion in America. So what are your thoughts on the George Floyd situation?
I feel as in the trial was I feel like a foot in the right direction, but at the same time, there's still way more to do, and that's just one out of like thousands of other cases out there. Um, and I feel like, if more importantly, because I specifically just got out of school, and in school I was doing a political science class, and I really was forcing and talking to my teachers in class about HR. I think it was HR 1280 or whatnot, but it's the George Floyd bill and the policy bill that they need to pass. Which I be looking at the news and I'm like, we keep talking about George Floyd and this trial, but nobody's bringing up this bill that will hold cops accountable and different things like that. So I feel like it's a step in the right direction, but I feel like there's a lot more that still need to be done. You know.
By the way, so just for all you all that call me all the time, this is how you all want him to respond on social media. But what happens is you all will say keywords to him like Trump, or you'll
No.
say keywords to him.
What happens
You know,
is
I'm just saying, but this
what
what you
happens
just did right now is how you usually are until somebody says a certain word to you, and then here comes Jordan.
No, it's I personally, um, Trump might be a trigger word. I'm not even going to disagree with that. But my problem with a lot of people is the comfortability they have with certain things, and a lot of those things I feel like are shouldn't be acceptable. And if you ask these people are they acceptable, they'll say no, but they're comfortable with other people and everybody around them doing that. You know, so I feel like if if I don't say something, who would say something? And if we continue letting these people go on by themselves, they're going to think it's okay. So I choose to say something and defend
So
myself.
where do you think the country is going now? Do you think that we're making progress? Do you think that we can't prepare from the last couple of years, or what do you think?
A country as a whole. Are
Yes.
we talking? You talking politics? So I think we're trying to repair, and I think that I would never say we can't do it. I feel like we always can, but um, I feel like there's two big problems. There's not enough people that participate in in the government to begin with to actually like get things done, I feel. And then two, at this moment, the Republican Party is not even trying to like, mend fences and build and become this great nation that they speak of, you know?
Okay. All right.
But that's my
Um,
personal opinion.
that was tamer than I thought. So we're gonna. Why that's good. We're gonna change the subject from politics to something else real quick that I know we're gonna argue about. And so now we're gonna argue about um, Father's Day. So not just Father's Day either, Christmas or whatever. So Jordan will ask me, right, Frank, what do you want? It could be Father's Day, it could be birthday, it could be just, he's out of town or whatever. It could be whatever. So, but usually it's Father's Day or Christmas or my birthday, something like that. And Jordan will say, this is for the last 3 or 4 years. Jordan will say, he'll ask me, what do I want? And what would I say, Jordan?
Um,
For Father's Day, what would I say? Father's Day, I used to say what? Something specific. What do I say?
the zoo.
Yeah, the zoo. And then any other holiday like Christmas, my birthday, Christmas, I'll say what? I want what?
Probably some food or something.
Yes.
Some specific.
So out of the last 3 to 5 years, right? How many of those have I gotten?
Actually, I remember you used to get a lot because it used to be the Mike and Ikes. You remember?
No, out of what we just talked about, out of what you just said though, how many have I gotten out of those 3 to 5 years?
Zero.
And
But wait. Can we pause? Can we pause?
yes.
Can we just speak on that? I did just get a whole associate's degree within that, and then
I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that what I asked for, when you ask me what I want.
I know, but I've been thinking it's like, and it's bad, and I am working on this. I've been thinking it's materialistic things. I'm like, oh, he wants like a souvenir, or he wants like this and that, like. And then also though, I haven't the food that you be asking for. I don't even eat anymore. Like I can't even help you on that. Like it's impossible.
Now, we had a huge debate that shouldn't have had even have to be. You were out of town recently, and I'm like, I made a simple comment. Hey, bring me back a souvenir. And then what happened, Jordan, with that?
All right,
No, the discussion.
let me explain it because I wanted to explain this to you too. When I go to Arizona, which because I've been there 4 times in the last year, I don't necessarily be near any kind of tourist spots. Like when I was just there, I was in Anthem and Carefree, which both of those not necessarily tourists. And if you go to like a shop, they have antique shops, so it's a lot of Western, but it's like $400 for a piece of glass. You think I'm gonna buy that and fly out on the plane? And then so I'm like, oh, y'all have any shot glasses? You guys have any like cool like mountain like frames or anything like that? But that's all at the airport. And then I had a red eye flight which left at 11:59. Everything is closed.
You're
I'm
you're
literally, like,
you're
I'm stuck.
you're avoiding our conversation. I wanted you to talk about the back and forth that we had for no reason.
It's because I don't know what to get people. Like I be confused. I'm like, I'm so used to like if I ask my mom like what do you want, she'll know what she wants. She probably have like a list of what she want. I'm not used to like thinking of things and what people want. Like you know what you want. Like and then also I since I am so like so much independent now, more or less everything I want I go and get, and I think other people do that. So I'd be like, what the hell do he want? He can't get like I don't know. Like what can I like? I don't just like I'd be confused.
So what ends up happening every time for the last 3 to 5 years is that he resorts to giving me nothing. Like he'll just get, oh, you know what? I can't figure it out, so I'll just give him nothing. But I will say this though, because that sounds negative to people that are listening to this.
Bad.
But let me fix it. Let me fix it. There's no doubt in my mind that Jordan appreciates me, and you know he reminds me of that all the time. So I don't want people. It's funny to me. Sometimes I do it on purpose. I think he knows it by now.
Yeah. First, I used to be like, Frank, really mad. Like I feel bad.
Yes, but people can, you know, he makes it up to me in other ways outside of gifts. But
now. Yeah, I'm coming back June 11th.
But let's talk. Speaking of gifts, though, now I think that I do a pretty good job on the other side of.
He does give good gifts. I'm not gonna lie. I got me a little drone I'm waiting to use. I just got me an iPad.
Wait, hold up. Back it up a little bit. What do you mean waiting to use? So, by the way, the purpose of the drone was that I thought you were going through a depression. Apparently, it was a 24-hour depression because you got over it. But I thought that the drone would help you with the depression, and the next day, I feel better now. Like, what?
I ain't say that. You know, look.
Okay, what happened with the drone? Did the drone help with the depression? No.
Well, I don't necessarily know until like I don't know. Like it's one day I'm good, some days I'm not. You know, life is a roller coaster, and at this point, I literally take it day by day. I wake up in the morning like it's a new day. Like I don't know.
But on a serious note, it's actually a good drone, actually, with the camera and everything.
Yeah, I know, and I see I can put my phone on the remote control. I'm just waiting to move so I can use it. It'll be cool.
Okay, and so Christmas gifts, you got what I get for Christmas?
I've been using that. I just take that to my trip, my duffel bag, my house shoes, and my shoes. And you gave me that Reese's stuff. You know I don't eat chocolate though, but I still have the mugs. I definitely use the mugs.
How about that?
But the duffel bag is really cool. I definitely use that. I use it every time I go travel now. It's quick and easy, compact.
It's funny because I was telling you that you know when I was buying your gifts, I was like I shouldn't have told him how many because I kind of wanted them. So
I should have took that one. I should have kept that one.
So he's at my house. He's opening them up, and as he's opening them, I'm like, I bought that. Like, I bought that. Keep that for me. Actually. So it was kind of weird. So let's talk about graduation. So that was exciting. Although so on the podcast, I told everybody about you. I'm glad you don't listen to it, and don't go back and listen to it. But
I'm about to. Like, I'm gonna pay my little $3 and go back. And
good plug, yes, $3 membership. But so I told everybody that you know Jordan out of nowhere goes, oh yeah, by the way, I'm graduating, and I'm just like, wait, like this is something that you would think that I would want to know. So wait, let me finish. I'm gonna give you the floor. Let me tell my side first, so you can combat it. But so I'm thinking like, okay, so I found out by the way because he posted his graduation pictures, and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm graduating. So I'm like, Jordan, isn't that something that you think like I would want to know that you're graduating? He goes, it's not that big a deal to me. It's just I'm not even feeling it. I'm like, what? Now you can go. Now you respond.
It's just. This has been a complicated semester. First of all, this last year has just all been complicated, and we all can agree to that. But I swear I've been telling people like last year, I've been telling people this is my last year. I've told so many people this is my last year. even my granddad just called me like, you didn't tell me. I was like, I swear I've told y'all, like, this is my last year. Even, and it was my last semester. I was setting up, like, I'm taking 5 to 6 classes this semester because it's my last semester. So I'll be graduating. And then like the stuff happened with my grandma mid semester, and like it was still gonna be like some virtual thing. So it wasn't an exciting moment for me anymore. It just got real dull. And then like I found out it was gonna be pre-recorded and stuff. I'm just like, what are we even gonna do? So like I don't know, it was just really whack. And then the people I stay with, their dad take a photo. Oh, he's a photographer. So he's like, oh, I could take some like, some graduation photos, which they came out really good. So I was like, I might as well just post those the last day of school, which is what I did. What?
Well, I'm in the house, doing nothing. I forgot I could have been getting a podcast. I don't know what I was doing. I was doing nothing, whatever. And I get this text with a link. Oh, my graduation today is at 1:00. What? Who does that? Like who? It was an hour away. Who does that?
Well, that's because CCC emails people like that. They emailed me the link that time. So that's when I sent it out to y'all.
I forgive you then. Because I'm like, wait a minute. And I gotta go. Yes, I'll forgive you. Because I'm like, wait a minute.
I was just waiting for the link, and because it was gonna be pre-recorded, so they had to resend us a link of the So I was just sending it out, letting people know.
So another thing I told people on the podcast that don't go back and listen to it, but I told people on the podcast, Jordan, he's not excited about his graduations. Like, I was just gonna send him a gift card with some money on it, which I ended up doing. But I'm like, I'm just gonna tell him that. But I feel like I got to make his graduation. Like I gotta make this something that he can remember, something that when he's around his friends, he's not depressed, but he's like, this is graduation, whatever. So what did I send you?
Sent me an iPad that I really love. Thank you.
I could have just gave you the money because you were really over it. Like you were back into your graduation again. So I feel like I get set up by you in my emotions, and then Jordan will come and run to me. I feel bad, Frank. I feel this, whatever. So I'll go out and spend some money. And then you're okay.
Well, the thing is though, like it's like when I saw the graduation pictures and stuff like that, and I saw like a lot of love I was getting, it made me feel good or whatever. But like, then I realized some people didn't say anything. So then I was like, oh, then it is like I was like, it's a like I say, life is a roller coaster, and I take it day by day. Like half of the day I might be happy, and that's the time you text me.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, so you would usually just text me, but when the iPad showed up, you picked up the phone that time. Like,
whoa. I was like, hello, wait, because I was like, what is in this box that's so heavy and small? I was confused. But yeah, I'm very grateful. Thank you for that. Definitely gonna use it this semester. I'm gonna need the pencil and a little tapping thing for it. So necessarily I don't have to carry my laptop with me everywhere I go.
And it's funny because you and several other people say that I have the Apple Store in my house, which is not true. Everybody needs 3 or 4 iPads.
You have like the Apple/Amazon digital store in your house.
I'm not going to get into this again, but I have a different thing for each like the podcast needs its own, then the job needs its own. I invest, which we're going to get into in a minute. I invest, so that needs its own thing. So you can't have all. For me, I use a lot of storage. It's hard to explain, but I use a lot of storage. And I hate deleting pictures and whatever. I don't want to buy attachments, whatever. So I just buy new iPads and and I number them 1 through 8 so that I know, number 6, whatever. But anyway.
I know number them. Yeah. I know somebody who has 3 MacBooks and like 3 iPads. And I'm like, I can't find a purpose for them all. Like, not yet, at least.
Eventually you'll see what I mean. You'll hate having to delete apps, and you'll hate having to delete pictures and videos that you want, and you don't want to have the extra storage or whatever. So I go and do that. I told a mass regular audience on social media one day that because I had danced to a certain song and I had posted it, and people that know you and know me, they were like, Frank, you should sit down and let Jordan do the dancing. I'm like, that's true, whatever. So I went to your TikTok and found a video of you dancing to a different song, and I posted it, and they get all the responses on my stories. So I'm like, I'm gonna do what you all said. I'm gonna ask Jordan if he would dance to this song. So I did ask Jordan, we got to the song, and Jordan said yes. Fast forward to now. Tell the audience, Jordan, what you have decided about this TikTok dance.
Well, I personally decided that like I probably would delete TikTok the app. It's just I feel like I've outgrown it, and TikTok have definitely turned to more into like a kid kind of app to me personally. But it's just yeah, it's just not what I feel like I do anymore. It's I'm above that.
Yeah, so I just want everybody to know that I was not lying. This is just how me and Joy's relationship is. Frank, what do you want? I want this.
Well,
Yes, I'll do it. And then no, I really won't. I'm just letting people know this is how we are. But we it works for us though, because we're still together. It works for us.
but he also asked to do the video like months after I made all my TikTok videos.
That's true. That's true. Now, there's one thing we have in common, and which has led to your nickname that I gave you way back when that I forgot all about until today. You reminded me. So what's your nickname?
Fat.
Fat Fat. And so
I don't know how though, because I don't have any meat on my body. I'm
like
just
me, but we eat.
yeah, I eat a lot. I just came from Bertillo's. Oh, so good.
I came from Heroes. So we eat a lot. So we have that one thing in common that we eat like crazy and metabolism is unbelievable. I think he eats more than me.
I'm trying to gain weight. I'm trying.
Yeah, we see you working out and you're half naked on social media, but you know that's what the young people do these days. But um, yeah, so your nickname was Fat Fat because you were just eating all the time, and back when you were younger, just eating all the time, and that's what I do. I do right now. Oh, we always make fun of your hair because
You always make fun of my hair.
well, okay, that makes me sound bad. Let me switch this around because you're making me. I give you advice on your hair. Does that sound better?
No, that is because it don't be advice. It'd be I don't like your hair. That's exactly what comes out.
I've said that. Wait, I've said those words. I don't like your hair.
You sound just like you and my mom both said those words. I don't even like your hair like that. You should do something with your hair. When are you?
I might say that. I might say that, or I might ignore you at work if your hair is bad. I mean, or I might not.
Well, now my hair is growing. It's like getting to the length where I can start doing things with it. So I'll be set. I won't be.
I like it now. It's when you look like you're from Africa right away that bothers me because I'm just
Well, I am from Africa. I'm like.
I mean, like you just got off the boat.
Hey,
But
let us. What's wrong with our natural hair? That's what I mean. Like let me live.
listen, Jocelyn, let's give her credit. Let's give her credit because you have some hit when she does your hair though. Let's give her some credit when she does your hair.
Yeah, Jocelyn hands down. I don't know. I'll be looking at like experienced braiders, and I still don't think they can replicate what she does to my hair. Like I tell her every time, like you're a godsend. Like that's the only reason that keeping me really. I'm like, if I would move out of this Illinois, I would have to find a new braider, or I could just fly here every 2 months and get her to braid my hair.
You're thinking like me now, flying people around. But yeah. So when she does your hair, I claim you. Other times, I'm just like, who is that over there? I don't know who that is. You know who that is? I don't know him at all. But 90% of the time, it's done. Matter of fact, you got it done. You got to take it down and twist it for today. So there you go.
No, I haven't. Yeah, I feel like within the last year, I've had my hair out probably 2 times, probably 2 to 3 times. I always have it like kind of twisted up, finger curled, or in braids.
All right, two more things that we're done, and this one is what we have in common as well. But you're beating me on this now because I used to beat you on this. But traveling, you basically live on airplanes, or you're traveling because you're never really around so much. So in the last, let's go 2 or 3 years, where have you been?
You want to do the last year?
Sure, because you've been so many places. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, the last year because
It's only June right now, May. But go ahead.
Literally, we could do the last 365 days ago. I was on a road trip to California. So I'm just take grab my necklace off. Sorry. I was on a road trip to California. So I drove from Illinois. It was me and Mally and her sister. We drove from Illinois. We obviously stopped in like 3 different places. We drove to like Vegas and stuff, and we got to Cali. Then we flew to Tucson or Phoenix. Drove to Tucson for a week. Went back to Phoenix. And then we drove to Utah for we drove to Utah for I think 4 days. And then we came back and then I've been to Long Beach about 4 times. Like I said, we've been back to Arizona like 3 more times, and mostly we're in Phoenix or like Cave Creek. Then I've been, um, yeah. So that's all I've been so far. I just booked my ticket for Hawaii in December. Um, I'm excited about that one. That's gonna be really fun. And then I'm booking my Puerto Rico ticket in August. And then I have a trip to Texas soon. So that should be fun.
Now, this is my last thing, and I want to end talking about the podcast.
Wait, where you been traveling? Because I don't think I've seen you fly anywhere.
I haven't recently because of the pandemic, and I have health stuff, but I usually cruise 3 to 4 times a year.
Cruise, yeah.
I had one planned for Puerto Rico in August, but I postponed that to next season. I'm trying to get you to go on a cruise, but I think you're afraid of water, something like that, right?
No, I'm not afraid of water. I just don't like cruises. Like I'm tall. Like I don't like to be restricted. Like I'm down to go on a boat for a day, but whole cruise, I feel like I would go crazy.
You have the wrong idea about cruise. Trust me, you have the wrong idea about cruise. Because I love my suites. I don't do the end. Anyway.
He said, I don't do the basic.
I don't mean to say that because people accuse me of being bougie, so I need to stop doing that. I just like to invest, which we get into next. I like to invest and then live off my assets. So everybody that's come on here that has said that they know me said that I've at least taught them the basics of investing, and that once they learn the basics of it, it just helps them to get started because they never knew it. They thought it was hard or whatever. So obviously everybody assumes that I've talked to you about investing. So the question is, did I make it easy for you to understand, or were you left confused after I talked to you the first time about it?
You made it definitely easy for me to understand. The only problem was like I was intrigued. So you know me, I'm just like going looking for things, and then I'm like, "What's this? What's this?" And you're like, That's like a different topic. That's day trading. That's this and that." But you definitely did make it easier for me to understand basic and um, dividend invested and different things like that. I feel like I honestly still wouldn't be in the stock market today if I didn't learn that. Like even though it's booming, because I just never had a class, never I guess cared enough to know until like I was like, oh, there's a lot of free money out there. Not even free money. You can invest and make so much money off your own money that's just sitting there and different things like that. So I'm grateful though, because it's a different world out there.
So do you think that you taught me anything?
um
Other than how to have patience, have you?
I was gonna say how to have patience.
Other than that,
though. I don't know.
Okay, so let me give you one at least, because let me give you one. So I have been going to these podcasting classes. I went to one all day yesterday, and I went to a master class 2 weeks ago. There's a lot about podcasting that you can't just jump into something and not know what you're doing. You'll sound crazy or whatever. And on the classes, they kept reiterating how when you're doing a podcast, you need to have researched your guests first. You need to have notes. You need to have questions so that you know where to go. And when it's time for you to ask a question, you're not like stumbling or saying whatever, because you don't want to sound bad. You think you sound good, but people listening to you are from different areas and different walks of life. And to them, you may sound bad. Now, you made a comment to me when I asked you about the podcast. You're like, can I get the questions? And I'm like, no, we're just going to wing it as if we're on the phone together. And then you're like, well, I don't want to sound uneducated. And that reminded me, like, that was, to me, that was validation that if this person who just graduated from college is worried about sounding uneducated, then I need to go ahead and, listen to what I've been hearing about having notes and having questions and yes, knowing what question to start out with and how to carry an interview and go through it, which I did today, right? Which I did today. So I'm not too old to learn. You teach me some things too.
Yeah, we gotta show you, I don't know. I feel like life is all about learning, whether you're in school or not. And that's one thing that I loved about my grandma. She didn't force nobody to go to school. She always just like, here, you learn this just by like paying attention and doing this. And it's just great. Life is just, sometimes great when you just pay attention and learn. And educate yourself.
So I was purposely trying to avoid that topic. I did talk about it on the podcast, but other episodes. But do you want to talk about grandmother or no?
Oh, I'm good. She's good. She's good though. She's out there living her best life. I know it.
Yeah, so she was the first person that made me realize she would go on all your posts and say how sexy you were. And to me that was so odd. I'm like, wait, that is not normal. But it's funny because now I get it. Like now I'm like, oh, like that, yeah, that if people would validate their family members or whatever, their children, whatever, they would have to go find that validation somewhere else. So like now I get it. So I'm like, yep.
It was funny because I remember in like high school, I was like, all right, I love you, sexy. And my friends be like, who are you on the phone with? And I'm like, my grandma. Like, also, I just felt like, I was like, oh, because I always call her old lady. And it's like, oh, you look so good for you being that old. And she always like, she didn't care how old she was. I tell everybody this, she lived literally every day like it was her last and always was partying, always like rather it was her last $5, she's going to go do whatever she needed to do and have fun. And it was great. I'm glad I did have the time I did have with her though.
All right. Well, so thanks for coming on the podcast. It wasn't as bad as you thought, was it?
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I might be
Wait a minute. First of all, you told me that there was somebody you wanted me to interview. And what did I say?
You said that you was gonna reach out or figure it out, see if you can do it.
I said you were gonna do it.
Oh, you did say. Oh, yes, you said I was gonna do the podcast. Yes.
Yes, but I did remember who that person was, and I did go and look it up.
Did you really remember?
I did. No, I do now. Yes, I forgot at first, but now I remember. Anyway, yes, you got to get her. I think she'd be great.
It's been like she's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yes, I agree. And you just told the world that you're about to support me and get a podcast membership for $3. So
now go back and see what you've been talking about me.
Is it on the membership page? It might be, but you don't have to though. I mean, why do that? Why go up on the past when you can go?
Well, I have time. I'm gonna be moving, so I'm gonna be just putting my ears in and listening, seeing what's going on.
By the way, the good thing about you moving is that I don't have to buy you a housewarming gift because the iPad goes from house to house.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I guess. You're right.
Yes, the iPad can go from house to house. It makes I know that because I do it, so it makes every house look good. So you're not expecting any housewarming gift from me because
toaster be nice. I'll share my Amazon wish list with you.
All right. I didn't know you have one of those. But anyway, all right, we got to go. So, Jordan, thank you so much.
Right, of course. Yeah.
I will be Father's Day around the corner. I'm going to be talking about you on the podcast the day after. Just let you know. So y'all can prepare for that to see if I went to the zoo or if I got my pizza puff. You all will find out on the podcast. So thank you all for listening. And check out the real podcast episode with me and David on the Apple, Spotify, and all that kind of good stuff. Wherever you get your podcast from, it's all free. All right. So thank you all very much. Bye.